The US economy is in such a sensitive place right now that tiny fractions matter. So downgrading growth for the last 3 months of 2022 from 2.7 to 2.6% may be negligible for most, but comforting for the US central bank, the Federal Reserve.
For the Fed, any sign that raising its benchmark interest rate has slowed economic growth, even a fraction, is likely to be welcomed. Hiking that benchmark interest rate is supposed to discourage employment and spending, but job numbers keep going up and consumption is robust.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell met with Republican lawmakers about interest rates on Wednesday, as one of his deputies, Michael Barr,
our banking system is sound and resilient.
Spent a second day in Congress defending the Fed's oversight of 3 banks that collapsed earlier this month.
I think that anytime you have a bank failure like this, bank management clearly failed, supervisors failed, and our regulatory system failed.
The raising of its benchmark interest rate contributed to the collapse of one of the banks, Silicon Valley, because they drove down the value of long-term bonds and treasuries it had invested in with customer deposits. But the Fed insists there's no wider contagion on the scale of the 2008 global financial meltdown. And yet this banking crisis has been a wake-up call for the Fed and how it steers the economy. If employers and consumers are largely impervious to its rate rises, some banks have wobbled. So the Fed now has to consider how to solve inflation without causing damage. Owen Fairclough, CGTN, Washington.